Wooster stops on the left wing, looking for someone to give it to. Hand off by Mia. Good screen. Now in the short right corner, he matches up with Saxon. Feeds up top. Williams, top of the arc. 3! He connects, and the Huskers have their first lead of the ballgame.
Listen to this crowd get on their feet. They've been waiting for this for a long time. It may have taken 21 minutes, but Nebraska's in front in South Dakota.
48-46 as Marshallonis stops short left corner, hands off to Saxon. He puts a shoulder into the paint against Mia and hooks up the layup with his right hand. Tied up at 48, 18-49 and counting, second half. Wooster picks his dribble up left wing, now feeds the post to Bryce Williams. He spins as Marshallonis pulled the chair on him, nearly lost the basketball, but was fouled. So Bryce Williams stops the clock at 18:41 left in this ball game, still tied at 48.
Yeah, and the foul goes on Mitchell Saxon down there underneath. Bryce Williams really trying to get a shot up. It was called on the floor, though, so Nebraska will have the inbound. I was confused for a second. My book, I had St. Mary's at 50, but I forgot to take away the overturned goaltend, so we're square at 48.
Wooster inbounds from under the net to Jawan Gary, who posts up top. Gives it on a handoff to Berke Buchtenschel. His second drive to the left side in this half. He hands it off to Williams with less than 10 to shoot on the shot clock. Another post touch up high for Braxton Mia. He's on the right wing with 4. Wooster pulls the right wing 3 with 2 on the shot clock off the back iron. Huskers grab a second chance with Gary. Buchtenschel spins in the paint, put his shoulder into a man, and has a bucket. Huskers, the first to 50 here in South Dakota. As Buchtenschel hits the layup, they lead by 2 with 18 to go in this ball game. Jordan Ross up top straight away to Saxon. Now feeds underneath. Saxon moves his feet, no travel called. Barrett driving in against Mia, and a quick whistle, and they call a foul, I believe, on Braxton Mia. He had his hands up in the sky, and no, maybe they'll call it on Jawan Gary.
Yeah, they called it underneath, away from the basketball. Jawan Gary had his hands draped over Saxon. The reason for no travel, I was watching our officiating crew down there, and Tony Padilla signaled that Saxon didn't have possession of the ball, and so he could not travel. It's a judgment call. It's definitely one that Nebraska fans would have liked to have back.
So with that foul, Gary heads to the sideline. It's Connor Asijan stepping onto the parquet floor at the Pentagon. As he comes off the bench, Marshallonis tries to send it into the post to Morauskas. Pass skipped away for a moment. Back to Barrett with 5 on the shot clock. Deep on the left wing, Marshallonis, the conference player of the year, needs some magic. Floats it up with his left hand. It's in the goal and an offensive interference as Barrett reached up in the cookie jar to put that one through. So the basket won't count. 50-48, Huskers still lead with the 2-point advantage. 17:35 to go in this basketball game. Wooster will give it up to Williams, who will slowly bring it across midcourt, working left to right. Huskers in the all-white uniforms. Williams hands off to the left side to Wooster. Buchtenschel all alone straight away, and he couldn't hit the 3. Missed it everything over to the left side. Quickly other way, Marshallonis gets into the paint, was reached in on and fouled. As Bryce Williams gets credited with the foul.
Yeah, that's a tough foul because now Bryce Williams and Jawan Gary both with 3 personals. Jawan Gary currently sits on the bench. Bryce Williams, leading scorer for Nebraska. They're going to have to play it safe.
Ross off the inbound, deep on the left wing. Rejects the screen from Saxon to the right. Picked his dribble up, though, so he has to give it to Mitchell Saxon, who picks his dribble up. Long entry pass to Morauskas. The height advantage over Wooster. Second, third chance doesn't fall. Good defense inside by Nebraska. Connor Asijan comes away with the basketball, now gives it to Bryce Williams right side. Williams charges into the paint, puts up a tough layup, rims in and out over Morauskas. Nearly had 20 points right there for Bryce Williams as Ross drew contact, no foul called, and Buchtenschel with a fist pump toward his sideline as he bodied up against the Gale ball handler and forced the turnover. Still 50-48 with 16:42 to go in the second half. Nebraska manages the basketball with the lead. Braxton Mia holds at the top of the arc, gives it a handoff to Asijan. His high arcing 3 bounces off the front of the rim twice. Buchtenschel grabs the rebound, back up and in. Berke Buchtenschel with a flex to the Husker crowd at the Pentagon, and we head into a timeout. Huskers lead 52-48 here in South Dakota. We'll have more coming up right after this on KRNU. 18-1 Cornhuskers, 13-5 fighting Illini. And we'll see which winning streak gets broken here tonight. Murray lunges at it, and Alec takes a swing and finds the first point of the match.
Great pass by Riley. Get the middles involved early. That's something that Nebraska likes to key on with Jackson and Alec. And by keeping it to the middles, gives Nebraska's outsides a better shot.
When Nebraska is at their best, it's because the middles and the littles are playing good. And here's one of them, Olivia Mauk with the serve. Outside Raina Terry with the roll shot, scooped up by Murray. Beeson takes a swing at that one. Got a touch on the back line, and it's 2-0 Nebraska.
Another nice swing that time by Beeson. A little bit off the net, so she had more options. No blockers even up on that one. She's able to put it away.
Solid job keeping it away from the libero Cristina Martinez Mundo for Illinois. As this line drive comes over the net, Mosier has to bump set it out to the corner, and it's Mauk with one hand, can't recover it. First point of the match for Illinois.
Yeah, Raina Terry with the nice swing on that one. Mauk almost got that fist on it to keep it in play, but it sailed into the crowd. And like you said, Illinois on the board, courtesy of Raina Terry.
So here is the Eastern Illinois transfer, Cristina Martinez Mundo. Been the main libero this year with the unfortunate retirement of Caroline Barnes. Outside, Murray with the tip, popped up. And Lainey Smith has to try to recover it, so here's a free ball to the Big Red. Out of the middle, Rebecca Alec with a hammer, and she has to look across the net to make sure that they're okay, but what a swing that was from the Lincoln native.
Yeah, 2 quick kills for Alec. She was responsible for the final 7 points in this last matchup against Illinois in the third set. So already 2 quick points out of the 3.
Rebecca Alec, one of the best middles in the conference. 9 blocks against Illinois earlier this season, but there's some offense on display. There's some more defense, though. Andy Jackson making her presence felt for the first time against the Illini here in 2024.
Great timing on the block by Beeson and Jackson. Really keyed in on Terry.
Lexi Rodriguez, the libero for Nebraska, coming off a season-high dig total against Ohio State last weekend. Out of the middle once again, and that time Ashlyn Philpott got rejected.
Jackson read that perfectly. It's so hard when it goes towards the middles because you're expecting it to go to the outside, but Jackson way over the net on that one. Punches it back.
So athletic, the 6'3" middle, using her tall frame to get over the net. Another tough serve from Rodriguez. Martinez Mundo has to take it herself. So here's Raina Terry soaring through the sky and pounding that one down. 5-2, Illini back on the board.
Did a great job of using the block that time. Went off of Jackson's left arm into the floor.
So Lily Berry gets back to serve. Sophomore from Emden, Illinois. Corralled by Murray. Jackson missed it wide.
I like the set. Again, getting the middles involved. Jackson had the line there. Just mishit it on that one.
Lily Berry played in all 30 matches last year. Only 13 of the 18 prior here tonight. Oh my goodness! Harper Murray attacking down the line and adding another point.
Yeah, attacked Berry right down the line. She was in perfect position. But Murray with the sledgehammer. So much velocity on that one that Berry couldn't handle it.
Read the block so well as now here's Merritt Beeson. Had a slow start to this season, but hitting .270 in the month of October. And she finds an ace serve right there. Pitch up high, 3-1. And this Nebraska program, not afraid to go to some sisters in the lineup. You think back to Billy and Brooke Andrews and all the success they've had over the past few years. And now Hannah and Lauren Kamenzind having very successful seasons too. Pitch outside, puts Hannah Kamenzind over at first as she draws the walk. And there's 2 on for the Huskers here in the bottom of the third.
2 on, nobody out. Souza working from behind immediately with a formidable part of the order for the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
It brings the Arizona transfer Olivia DiNardo to the plate. Had 60 hits in her freshman season with Arizona. One of the better seasons of a freshman there before coming to Nebraska. She's seen a lot of wins as well. 2 winning seasons in 23 and 24 with the Wildcats. Bringing some postseason experience to a Nebraska team that's looking to do some real damage come the month of May. 0-1. Not quite that time. 1 ball and a strike for DiNardo. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. But with no outs, you got to imagine she's got the green light to swing away. Hitting .400 on the year.
One of multiple Husker players above .400 this year.
Popped out of play with a foul ball. And there's the second strike of the at-bat. 1-2 for Olivia DiNardo. She's gone for multiple hits in 2 of the past 5 games for Nebraska entering this weekend, including that 2-for-4 performance in the win at Ohio State. Chopper back to the circle. Throw to third is a bit low, but in time to put away Jordy Ball. Pretty active play by Souza in the circle.
Great heads-up play to remember to turn, look 3, get that lead runner. The freshman, a couple runs scored on her, a couple base runners already, but keeping her head level, staying in this game, and making sure the Gophers don't let anything get out of hand.
Just stabbed it out of the sky on the high bounce, and it was a close play at that third base bag. It looked like Rhonda Bavell wanted to have a discussion with home plate umpire Joe Havenhill, but she does retreat back to third base. So 1 down, bottom of the third. DiNardo at first, and Kamenzen over there at second now. First pitch swinging by Casey Hoffman popped out of play.
Huskers having Caitlin Kaneda come in to pinch run for designated player Olivia DiNardo.
Souza bringing in some of the infield to discuss what they want to do here. Huskers with some pretty aggressive base runners out there now, with Kaneda stepping in over at first. She's got some solid speed. Kamenzen does as well as she sits in scoring position. And we'll see if Hoffman, who reached on a fielder's choice earlier today, can find a base knock and maybe extend on this 2-0 lead for the Huskers. 0-1 pitch is crushed deep to right field. No doubt about it. A 3-run home run, and Casey Hoffman has the Huskers howling here in Lincoln.
5th home run of the season for Hoffman, and that one was no doubt. It hit the fence almost halfway up the Gordon structure. Absolutely pummeled for Casey Hoffman.
They brought in Kate Kaneda as a pinch runner at first. Didn't end up needing her speed in the slightest. Hoffman just said, I'll do it myself. And Nebraska has an early 5-0 lead with 1 down in the bottom of the third. Lauren Kamenzen now at the plate. And that's a big swing for the freshman Natalie Souza to allow in the circle. We got to wonder what her mentality is going to be after that huge swing from Hoffman.
Still has to stay in this inning. Only 1 out, so Huskers still able to do damage.
Nebraska, 5 runs on 5 total hits so far here today. Mentioned earlier in this game, the hits and the power of this Husker team is absolutely devastating for opposing teams to deal with. 9th nationally in hits coming into this series, and best in the nation at 62 home runs and 63 right there from Casey Hoffman, keeping this Husker team up in front.